When Alice arches her back and throws a seductive, lingering glance at Mike, he catches the drift instantly. With a playful smack to her behind, their shared intimacy becomes palpable. A bold flirtation that ignites their passion, but also attracts the wrong kind of attention. Exhausted from a grueling long-distance drive, they pull into a desolate service area to rest. There, a suspicious, portly man spots them and frantically drags a heavy burlap sack behind a vehicle to hide it. Oblivious to the danger, the young couple is preoccupied with asking the proprietor for a room with a large bed, unaware that from the shadows, a predatory gaze has already locked onto the beautiful Alice. Shortly after they enter their room, the fat man reappears, dragging the sack with him. A single high-heeled shoe falls out, a grim omen of the horrors within. They have unwittingly stepped into a black hotel, a literal slaughterhouse that targets travelers. Here, victims are robbed and murdered. Their remains are sometimes even turned into ingredients, while the defiant are tossed into a death pit to rot. That night, while Alice and Mike are dining, the owner sneaks into their room. Finding no valuables, only a pair of Alice's provocative ultra-short pants, he sneers in contempt. Since there is no money to steal, he decides they will pay with their lives. The next morning, the fat man, disguised as a waiter, serves them coffee laced with poison. Immersed in their private world, Mike and Alice don't notice his hateful glare. He slams the cups onto the table, waiting for the lethal brew to take effect. At the critical moment, a mute girl working at the shop screams and points frantically at the coffee. The jig is up. The fat man pulls a shotgun, but Mike is faster, drawing his own pistol. Amidst the standoff, Mike barks orders at the fat man while trying to keep Alice calm. The fat man's bravado crumbles into panic. He drops his gun and kicks it toward Mike. Mike seizes the chance to flee with Alice, but the owner watches from the window with a sinister grin. He places a call to an accomplice, a man posing as a police officer. As the couple speeds away, they are pulled over by a patrol car. Thinking they are safe, Alice tries to use her charm to navigate the situation, but the officer strikes immediately. Mike is strangled and dragged from the passenger seat, and Alice is ensnared in a wire trap. They are hauled back to the Nightmare Hotel in chains. Mike is thrown into a 5-meter-deep concrete pit, an inescapable tomb. Alice is locked in a cell where the fat man torments her with a high-pressure water hose. She begs for mercy, but her captor is as cold as stone, until a fellow henchman finally intervenes. Left alone in the dark with the fat man guarding her, Alice finds a loose bolt. She devises a desperate plan. Rising slowly, she performs a seductive dance for the guard. Her soft provocations finally shatter his resolve. The fat man unlocks the cell, expecting a submissive prize. But as he leans in, Alice drives the bolt into him with lethal precision. While Alice escapes her cell, Mike's situation turns even more dire. The lead villain, a man with shock-white hair, tries to force Mike into submission, using Alice's safety as a threat. This crosses Mike's final line, and he strikes back with defiant fury. In a fit of rage, Whitehair turns his cruelty toward his own henchman's wife. Witnessing this, the cowardly but broken henchman commits suicide by the pit, leaving behind a Bible. Using the body as a stepping stone, Mike makes a superhuman leap, claws his way up the concrete wall, and escapes. He bursts into the cabin just as Alice is being cornered, levels the remaining thugs, and the two scramble into their car. As they hit the highway, Whitehair appears in the middle of the road, thinking he can stop the speeding vehicle with his bare hands. He clearly overestimated his own power.